So, where are we?
Well, we're overlooking the area where the Blackfoot people signed Treaty 7.
Dr. Gabrielle Lindstrom is a researcher and a member of the Gainawa Nation, which is another of the Blackfoot nations.
So imagine we've got camps of hundreds of people. And so there was lots of ceremony that was happening, lots of praying, lots of dialogue. This is serious business, very sacred times, because the future of our people was at stake.
What was leading up to the signing of that treaty? What were the circumstances that led to it?
The events leading up to the signing of the treaty really coincide with the opening up of the West. New settlers are encroaching more and more on these territories, and contact initially brought disease, particularly smallpox. The dead were so numerous that people didn't even have time to mourn. Another thing that hit us hard was the intentional slaughter of buffalo to ensure that First Nations didn't have access to food. It's literally impossible to carry on the previous way of life, like you can't.
This was the situation facing Chief Crowfoot and all the other Indigenous leaders here in this valley as they weighed up the prospect of a treaty with the Crown.
When they signed that treaty, could they possibly have known everything that would flow from this moment?
With agreements like Treaty 7 and other government policies, what flows is a profound and devastating shift in Blackfoot lives.
Shortly after the signing of the treaty, our people were pretty much corralled on this strip of land here. Our people weren't allowed to leave.
Indigenous people didn't drive themselves into states of poverty that we find ourselves now in. This was orchestrated, the orchestrated destruction of a culture, beginning with the disease and culminating in the treaties, and then the implementation of the Indian residential schools and those policies of genocide. And that is something that is still ongoing today.